you have a plan to increase security in places like that?
The district has up-to-date and well-tested emergency response plans.
12 seconds remaining, Jackson. Time it over!
This program was produced by Lenape District Television.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Cherokee High School for this Lenape District Television broadcast of varsity softball. Today's matchup features the away Cherry Hill West Lions taking on the home team Cherokee Chiefs. I'm Nick Proto alongside Joe Melagrana. Now, Joe, we're about halfway through the season here. Cherokee comes in at 500. What do they have to do to pick up a big win here at home and carry some momentum on for the second half of the season?
Well, I think Coach Lum wants to see more timely hitting. They've been getting a lot of contact with the ball. Unfortunately, sometimes luck is against their side. Usually they hit it to somebody else or one of the defenders anyway. So she would like to see a little bit more, like I said, timely hitting and moving the runners over.
Weather's going to play a factor today. Let's see how it affects the girls on the field. And we'll be right back with the start of the game after a few messages from our sponsors.
Today's game on LDTV Sports, sponsored by Deborah. For care that's extraordinary, demanddeborah.org. Cherry Hill Nissan, home of the friendly Nissan giant. On the web at cherryhillnissan.com. Philadelphia Wholesale Produce Market. All the best, all right here. 215-336-3003. Or on the web at www.pwpm.net. Comegno Law Group, specializing in general and special education law, representing individuals, families, public boards of education, and independent schools. 888-313-IDEA or ComegnoLaw.com. Wilmore School of Gymnastics, where every child is special. In Mount Laurel, 856-234-5292. And in Medford, 609-654-9337. Medford Village Car Care, serving the area's car care needs for 30 years. Located at 11 North Main Street in Medford, 609-654-4023. For information on how your business can become a sponsor of LDTV Sports, contact Joe Malagrana, LDTV Underwriting Manager, at 609-268-2000. extension 8680, or by email jmelagrana@lrhsd.org.
We welcome you back here to Cherokee High School in Marlton. As we have, this game has gotten underway. We've already had 3 batters here for Cherry Hill West. 2 quick outs from Taylor Thompson and Linda Kovacs, and then Jade Stubblefield got a double for the Lions, and that's where we stand now. Arcelia Hernandez up to bat, and she grounds it right to the pitcher, and that's going to do it for the first half of the inning.
Yeah, and the hit that they did get there, Nick, was kind of a tough one for the fielders because of this wind. Managed to get in there with the long high hang time. Jade Stubblefield managed to get to second base, and had the what we missed was the Taylor Thompson flying out to pop up to first baseman. The second batter, Linda Kovacs, the catcher, she grounded out to the second baseman. Jade Stubblefield again got that windblown double, and Arcelia, which you just saw, back to the pitcher, And coming down to the, excuse me, the bottom of the first inning.
We'll have our first look at the Cherokee Chiefs offense. And facing that offense will be Callie Poston, the pitcher, the junior for the Lions, trying to stop this Cherokee Chiefs offense.
Right in the starting lineup for the Chiefs, first batter is Trisha Griffin, number 6. She's the center fielder. She's the only senior in the lineup. Number 2, bat number 2 is the catcher. Her number is number 5, and that is Brooke Wasco. She's a junior. Batting third baseman, number 15, Emily Misi. Batting cleanup, Samantha Walden is a right fielder. Batting 5th is Meg Hasulik. Hopefully we got that okay. Number 6 is Kim Collins. 7, Keely Lynch. 8, Emma Gilmore. 9th, Katie Comiskey. And the flex pitcher is Abby Sconjarelli. Trisha Griffin here leads off for the Chiefs.
As you mentioned, the only senior for Cherokee. She started all 4 years, batting 200 this season. Looking to start the Chiefs off strong in the first inning. It's now time to take a look at our AXA Equitable keys to the game, providing millions of customers with life insurance, annuities, and other needs-based products since 1859. AXA Equitable, be life confident. 732-452-7275. Joe, our first key for Cherry Hill West is going to be they got to play hard.
And one thing the coach said from Cherry Hill West, even though they're coming in with a 2-5 record, they never give up. So they're going to continue and hopefully get some momentum going for them.
Our key for Cherokee is that hits bring in runs. Hits that bring in runs.
Right. We mentioned in the pregame we want to see some clutch hitting and hopefully that'll happen today for the Chiefs.
And both teams want to keep their walks to a minimum here today.
Of course, no free passes.
And as we talk about hits that bring in runs, you just saw a sacrifice bunt turn into an RBI, as it was Wasco who brought in Trisha Griffin, and the Chiefs find themselves with an early 1-0 lead. As Emily Measy steps in, the third baseman, the junior, she hits down to third base, handled well by Thompson, and that's the first out for Cherokee. Excuse me, the second out for Cherokee. Bring up number 22, Samantha Waldman. That's right, that's second out. The first one was on the sacrifice bunt.
Sacrifice, right.
Waldman stepping in here, the right fielder. Also a junior, a 2-year starter, batting .290 this season. And she takes a ball there. High pop up into shallow left. That is handled well out there by Rebecca Gerst. And that'll do it for the Chiefs. And that'll do it for the first inning.
And again, you saw the wind playing a little havoc there, but she managed to hold on to that fly ball.
Cherokee manages to get on the board that half inning, picking up the 1-0 lead, getting the early lead here at home. Abby Scarangeli out for her second inning of work.
We mentioned before the game that that's a great baseball name right there.
Scarangeli.
Yippee Scarangeli. Pitching for the Chiefs today.
Sophomore.
Sophomore, and this is her second year starting, so she was a starter as a freshman. Continuing her sophomore year, doing a great job for the Chiefs.
Designated player Nicole Skoros will be the first batter here for the Lions at the top of the second.
It's number 17 again, and she's a senior for the Lions, batting 5th.
Scarangeli step in. She gets up on the count, 0-1. Little blooper there. Handled well by Emily Measy. 1 down for the Lions.
That was a great play because that's the only play coming in on that. The shortstop, Katie Kaminsky, had a shot at it, but actually coming across is almost like a little dribbler. You have to cut in front of the shortstop, and Emily did a great job.
Coming in now, Alana Pappas, the second baseman, a senior captain here for Cherry Hill West. Looking to build some momentum here for the Lions as they find themselves in the 1-0 hole. There's a pop-up coming back our way.
Well, thank God the wind's blowing in because it blew it right over our heads.
She fouls that one off. Joey delivers, and that's a called strike 2. That one goes down the line. It is fair, just over third base, and that's going to be a single for Pappas.
We're almost right down the line here, Nick, and that ball wasn't fair by much. Probably caught the lower left-hand corner of the bag, but it did go over the bag. It's a fair ball.
That'll bring up Brittany Robertson, also a captain, also a senior, playing first base with 1 on and 1 out. Ball there. So it's a 1-0 count to Robertson.
Brittany's also one of the 3 captains for the Lions.
There's a good hit in the outfield.
That's going to be tough. Oh, stayed with it.
Right fielder Samantha Waldman making the catch there. 2 down here. That's going to bring up number 6, Kylie Renna, the right fielder. She's a junior. 2 down and 1 on for Cherry Hill West. Scarangeli looking to get out of her second inning. Called strike 1 there. 0-1 count for Renna.
Wonder if West may put on a steal here, get a runner in scoring position with 2 outs.
That's ball 1 to even the count. A second ball here. Good eye by Renna. She gets ahead in the count 2-1. Outside again for ball 3. It's Wasco keeping Pappas in check over there at first.
Yeah, it's like the second or third time they threw down there, so maybe they're thinking that she will be stealing.
As we get into a 3-1 count here. And that's going to be ball 4.
Yeah, it's the first walk, I believe, and that puts runners in first and second. Of course, 1 runner in scoring position now with 2 outs for the Lions.
Becca Gerst stepping in, the junior left fielder. Trying to tie this game up here for Cherry Hill West. Called strike 1 for Scarangeli. Pappas at second, Renna at first for Cherry Hill West. And a little blue foul just out of the reach of Measy.
It looked like tried to get something on like almost like a running bunt there, just out of the reach.
Now Gerst falls behind 0-2.
Nick noticed the umpire, nice and loud with the strikes, but a little bit delayed coming up with the right hand. So hopefully we can hear the rest of the game.
That's a tipped, caught, strike 3, and that's going to do it. Scarangeli picks up her first strikeout. And Cherokee will be coming up in the bottom of the second. It'll be Hasulak, Collins, and Lynch for the Chiefs. It's now time for our AXA Equitable Sideline Report, providing millions of customers with life insurance, annuities, and other needs-based products since 1859. AXA Equitable, be life confident. 732-452-7275. Now send it over to Sam with the report. Sam?
It's the bottom of the second inning right now, but I spoke to the coaches before the game today, and Coach Lum from Cherokee, along with Coach Mastores, told me that the team's feeling excited after having a good practice on Saturday, and she's hoping to keep the base runners moving throughout the game and to keep getting good hits. On Cherry Hill West end, Coach Franzozzi told me that the team's feeling good, and they've been practicing a lot when they're hitting this game, or this past week. So back to you guys.
Thanks for that report, Sam. And it's important for Cherry Hill West here to get some hits as they find themselves down 1-0 on the road against the Cherokee Chiefs, the 10th ranked Cherokee Chiefs.
Yeah, it's always said that good things happen when put the ball in play, and so far got the early 1-0 lead. The Cherokee coming up in the bottom of the second.
As in steps Meg Hasulak, the right fielder, the sophomore, as she takes ball one. Ball two there from Callie Poston. Callie, the junior. Just low for ball three. And Hasulak finds herself way up in the count, 3-0. And that is a called ball four. So Meg Hasulak now heads to first base, which will bring up Kim Collins, batting .250 this season. And that's low for a called ball one.
And that's 5 straight balls thrown by Callie Poston. So we'll try to find a strike zone again here. The swings
Really picking up there. High for ball two, throws down to first. See, they catch a Sulak too far off the base. Nothing doing there. So a 2-0 count to Kim Collins. They throw down again. Hasulak is her name. I've been pronouncing it wrong. Meg Hasulak. I apologize to her. And there's a called strike. Callie Poston getting her first strike this inning. Still finds herself behind in the count, 3-1. And there's another walk there for Poston. Kim Collins the first, Hasulak on second. We'll bring up Keely Lynch. Coach Franzozzi goes out there to talk to her pitcher.
Yeah, trying to settle down, and she said, just just calm down, just get it. That's what she's doing. You can see by her hand gestures there. Just relax, follow through, and get it over the plate. Don't want
Still
any more
early in
free
this game.
passes, right? We mentioned before that the wind is really kicking up. At times, it's not too bad out here when it slows down, but unfortunately, hasn't slowed down too much, and it is blowing in.
So after the talk from her coach, Poston comes back out, facing Keely Lynch. Comes right back out and gets a strike. Coach must have said something right there.
Yeah, you usually do see that when the coach comes out and talks.
There's a hard liner to third. It did bounce, and they're going to turn two here.
Wow, great play there. Again, that's a shortstop, Jade Stubblefield. From here, it was close hitting the ground. I guess it did hit the ground, because right away she threw to third base for the force and right back to second base for the second force. Gets the double play.
Got Hasulak and Collins there on the 6'5", 6'5", 4 double play. Not a very common double play you see there.
No,
A
but
6-5-4.
But since there was less than 2 outs, the runners couldn't have been going on the crack of the bat, so they had to hold up.
Just like that, Cherokee goes from first and second with no outs to first with 2 outs. As Emma Gilmore steps in here, one of the 2 freshmen in this lineup, along with Katie Kaminsky.
She's a designated player today.
That's low, but there's a steal. Stubblefield couldn't handle, and Keely Lynch is safe at second.
And that was a tough play to handle. The throw was a little bit in front, but the Chiefs get a runner in scoring position with 2 outs.
Count 1 and 2. That's low, and Lynch is going to get the third on the pass ball. So a little roller coaster of events here for Cherokee there. First and second, nobody out. Then they get the double play, and then a couple stolen base and a pass ball, and they got a runner on third.
Yeah, with baseball, it's I always say the third out's the toughest to get.
As Gilmore faces a full count here. And it's a called ball 4. So Gilmore heads over to first. Third walk of the inning for Poston. Katie Kaminsky, as I said, the other freshman stepping in.
Interesting. It'll be interesting to see if the steal's on and whether they throw down or just let her take second base.
Called strike 1 there to Kaminsky. Poston looking to get out of the inning with no damage. And the count is 1-1. And that's a pass. Here comes Lynch, and she's going to score easily.
And advances the third, so
Gilmore got all the way to third on that one.
I'm sure that's a wild pitch because that was very high and outside.
And it looks like we're getting a pitching change here. Franzosi says that's enough. Poston's going to come out of this one.
Yeah, it looked like even though it's only the second inning, she did have trouble finding the strike zone. Thought she was going to get bailed out there with that kind of unorthodox double play. You don't see it that much, but it was a great play by the Lions shortstop Jade Stubblefield. But they gave him right back to him with a few walks and some
could be the
fastball and a
wind,
wild
could
pitch.
be the cold. Either way, we're going to have a pitching change here. It looks like it's going to be number 18, Brittany Robertson, the senior. She started at first base, now moving to pitcher. So we have a change in the infield as well. Number 2, Angela LaRosa is going to be moving to second base. And number 14, Alana Pappas, is going to head to first. That's the new lineup we will have for Cherry Hill West. We're in the bottom of the second here as Robertson warms up. Cherokee has themselves a 2-0 lead with 2 outs here. Katie Kaminsky, the freshman, finds herself with a 2-1 count as she tries to add to this Cherokee lead. Emma Gilmore standing on third for the Chiefs. Kaminsky batting .290 this season for the Chiefs.
Looks like Brittany Robinson is going to be inheriting a 2-1 count. Again, bottom to second with 2 outs.
Looks like she's ready to go. So we will get this game back underway. Katie Kaminsky at the dish. Brittany Robertson pitching. It's a ball high, 3-1 count now for Comiskey. Gilmore waiting on third. And there's a strike to make it a full count. That ball's tipped, so Comiskey stays alive. Trisha Griffin waiting on deck. Had a single in the first inning for Cherokee. It's a grounder to third, handled well by Thompson. She throws it, and it is in time, so that's going to do it for Cherokee in the second inning. We'll head to the third.
I believe they got run with without a hit. They had 3 walks thrown in with the double play, and a couple wild pitches. Without that double play, might have been worse, that's for sure. But it's certainly manageable this early in the game. Coming up at the top of the third for the Lions, only down 2-0.
Scarangeli comes out for her third inning of work. He's pitched well so far today. Has 1 strikeout, giving up 2 hits.
Yeah, right now the Lions are out hitting. We're down 2-0. Right now the Chiefs are definitely taking advantage of some of the miscues and some of the bases on balls committed by the Lions.
We're going to get the top of the order here for Cherry Hill West. Taylor Thompson, followed by Linda Kovacs, and Jade Stubblefield, who had the double earlier today.
At Taylor's first at bat, flight out to popped up to the first baseman.
Out in foul territory there. High and wide there from Scarangeli, 1-0 count. Thompson, the third baseman, one of the 3 captains. Ball is outside, 2-0. There's a bunt, handled by Scarangeli, and she throws the first for the out.
There's a nice bunt there, and an equally impressive defensive play by the Chiefs. Second baseman covering. First out of the inning.
It's going to bring up Linda Kovacs. Grounded out the second, her first at bat in the first inning. She fouls one back, 0-1. Scarangeli delivers. That ball is low. 1-1 count here to Kovacs. There's a liner into center field. That's going to drop. Kovacs gets on to first.
Third hit for the Lions, and see if they can get her into scoring position. Cut this lead down. 2-0 right now, Cherokee.
Stubblefield stepping in. She had a double earlier in the game. They're back in the first inning. Stubblefield only a sophomore. There's another hit. Deep into center. And that is handled well. Caught for the out by Trisha Griffin.
Sounded good off the bat, got a little bit underneath it, and certainly wasn't going to go too far with that wind blowing in.
Griffin hardly even had to move for that one. Fell right into her glove. It's going to bring up the cleanup hitter, Arcilia Hernandez. 0 for 1. She grounded out the first back in the first inning. Called strike 1 there from Scarangeli. Two down here in the third. Cherokee West, there's a grounder up the middle. And that's gonna do it. For the third inning was Kim Collins fielding it there. Getting the third out.
Went off the pitcher's foot. Looked like it was deflected to the second baseman. And,
I think you're right.
anyway, it's another hit for the Lions, but no runs. As the Chiefs come to bat in the bottom of the third, up 2-0.
We're looking at the top of the order for Cherokee. Griffin, Wasco, and Measy. As we mentioned before, Griffin, the only senior in the starting lineup for Cherokee. She had a single, the only hit of the game so far for Cherokee.
I don't know about you, Nick. It's hard to believe it's almost May.
Yeah.
This is like the second week of March out here.
Yeah, it is a cold and windy day here in Marlton, New Jersey.
Well, it's supposed to get better the rest of the week.
I hope so. Robertson's coming out for her first full inning of work. She finished the last inning for Poston. Did a good job, didn't allow any runs. Held the Chiefs offense. And she's gonna come out in the third inning here and try to do it again.
Coach Lum's coming in here as her 12 years of head coach. Her overall record 151 and 110. Great record, assisted by Megan Mastores.
Former Cherokee player was Coach Lum.
Right for Doc Medrick. She also played at Rutgers Camden.
Griffin stepping in. Robertson dealing. That's low. Ball 1. Senior versus senior action here between Robinson and Griffin. As you saw, Robinson ball 2 there. And that's a called strike. 2-1 to Griffin. Trisha Griffin, the 4-year starter in her final season.
Almost went after that one, but held up. 3-1 count. Another free pass.
Ball 4. Griffin on base for the second time today. That'll bring up Brooke Wasco. Wasco 0-1 today. Trying to change that with Griffin on first. And Griffin's gonna steal. Little hit and run. She gets her. Griffin trying to get to third, and she does.
That was an absolute great.
So on the sacrifice bunt, Wasco almost beats out the throw at first. They get the out there, but Griffin makes it all the way to third. And she's a threat to score here with 1 out in the bottom of the third inning.
Just got her at first base, too, and a great bunt. That moves the runner to third now.
Well covered that bunt by Cherry Hill West. Not allowing Wasco to get the first. Robertson dealing. That's a 1-0 count. Emily Measy stepping in for Cherokee. She's 0-1 on the day. That ball is over the glove of Stubblefield, just out of reach. Here comes Griffin. 3-0 here for Cherokee. Stubblefield just couldn't get to it. And Measy gets the first base with the single.
Yeah, I think Stubblefield thought it was going to be a little bit lower. She took a couple steps in and then realized it was a little higher and just off the tip of her glove.
Samantha Waldman stepping in here as she watches the ball for a 1-0 count. That's high again, 2-0. Kovacs keeping Measy in check over there at first base. As that ball is fouled back, look out. Into the Cherokee dugout. Count is now 2-1. Measy on first, Robertson dealing. Fouled off there by Waldman. The count's going to be 2-2. That's fouled off again.
Sam really in front of that one, is right up in a hitter's position, or a hitter's location anyway, right across the letters, but way in front of it, fouled it to the right field.
Stays alive in the count, keeps it at 2-2. And that's a low Stubblefield, mishandles it, and it's dropped over there at second. Angela LaRosa couldn't handle it. Measy's gonna be safe at second.
Yeah, I know, it was bobbled, and unfortunately probably given error to the second baseman, even though Jade had a hustle on the throw because of the bobble, but I think the throw was there, and time just couldn't handle it.
Meg Hazelak stepping in. She walked back last inning, and she takes ball one there. Tough break there for Cherry Hill West on the error. Had a chance to possibly turn two. Mishandled by Stubblefield at short. LaRosa couldn't hang on at second. And Cherokee's got 2 men on. Measy at second, Waldman at first, Hazelak at the plate. Robertson trying to get out of the inning here with no damage. Excuse me, there was a run earlier in the inning. Trying to get out of the inning with minimal damage.
Yeah, they've scored 1 run so far in each inning. Of course, we're not out of the third yet.
That one over the glove of Thompson. Runners are gonna hold. So that's a single for Hazelak.
Almost a very similar play as the one to the shortstop earlier. We're just out of the reach. Less than 2 out. Coach Lum hold the runner at third because the ball didn't really go that far into the outfield. We have one out. The bags are loaded.
Bases loaded, like you said, for Kim Collins, who also walked earlier in the game, last inning. And she gets a 1-0 count. Swung at a ball, maybe a little low there. Nonetheless, 1-1. 1-1, excuse me.
Yeah, Coach Lum walked halfway down to her and said, let's leave those alone.
Grounded at third, handled by Thompson. She throws home.
Wide play, wide throw. Had a force out at the plate.
Measy scores to make it 4-0.
That's going to be an error on the throw.
Tough there from Thompson. Made the smart play to throw home, trying to prevent the run. The throw is just a bit off, and everybody's safe. That was low. A 1-0 count here. Keely Lynch, it looks like. Lynch fouls one off over the top. It's going to be 1-1. Robertson deals a high pop-up into the outfield, and that ball lands. Runners only getting to go up one base. Cherokee scores again.
Yeah, from the get-go, it looked like that was going to be a tough play because of the wind. And of course, the runners had a hold because of less than 2 outs, but another run for the Chiefs. Get their 5th run.
Emma Gilmore stepping in, designated player for Cherokee. She walked last inning as well. And the bases are still loaded for the Chiefs. As Gilmore fouls one back, 0-1.
Similar situation here. You got to force out at any base, still with only 1 out.
Guys, a second. The play not in time to home. As Hazelak scores there. Gilmore gets the RBI. And it is 6-0.
Yeah, it's a fielder's choice there, looking for the force out, but got a great jump off of third base there, and the Chiefs' 6th run.
The freshman picking up the RBI. A big run there for Cherokee. Collins in third, Lynch on second, Gilmore on first. Comiskey stepping in, looking to increase the lead here for the Chiefs. That ball is high, 1-0. Another high ball there, 2-0. As Kovacs throws down to third, trying to catch Collins off the bag. Comiskey in a hitter's count here at 3-0. Robertson's trying to battle back. She cannot, that's a walk. That's going to score Collins. So that'll bring up Trisha Griffin, top of the order. Coach Franzosi going out to talk to Robertson.
Yeah, right now the Lions are really shooting themselves in the foot with the base on balls and a couple untimely errors here, and Cherokee's really not getting much hits because the ball's not around the plate. But nonetheless, they're taking advantage of all the miscues by the Lions and holding a 7-0 lead here. Still not out of the bottom of the third, with only 1 out. Bases are still loaded.
It's Trisha Griffin stepping in for her 3rd at bat. The single in the first inning for Griffin gave her 93rd career hit, closing in on the 100 hit milestone. And then she looks at a ball, 1-0. Base is still loaded here with Cherokee. Lynch, Gilmore, Comiskey on third, second, and first, respectively. That ball just a little high. And Griffin's up 2-0. Robertson dealing. That ball's in there for a strike, 2-1.
Little peak of sunshine here, Nick. Feels pretty good.
Coming through the clouds there just a little bit. That's low. Stopped well there by Kovacs, 3-1. Griffin walked earlier in the inning. Cherokee's batted around here. takes that for ball 4 in her second walk. That'll score Lynch as Brooke Wasco steps in with the 8-0 Cherokee lead.
If I have this correctly, Wasco has 2 sacrifice punts.
I have the same thing.
Okay, so she's 0 for 0 today, but been in the thick of things.
She grounds one foul, and she's in an 0-2 hole.
And this count, just protecting the plate, just trying to anything close, make contact with an 0-2 count.
Robertson trying to get her out here. That one's low. 1-2 count here to Wasco. Wasco batting .308 coming into this one. Looks at another ball here. 2-2. Robertson stepping in. That's a high ball. So it went from being an 0-2 count in favor of Robertson to a full count. And this could go either way here.
Yeah, she really worked the count with those 2 strikes, like you said, and it's full. Something's got to give.
Takes a swing at one. Hand that's caught by Stubblefield for the second out of the inning. It's going to bring up Measy.
Little humpback liner there to Stubblefield, and I thought we were going to have either another double play or the way it was going, that way it has been going off the glove, but nice play there by Stubblefield. Gets that big second out for the Lions.
Measy steps in. She had a hit earlier in the inning. Robertson trying to get out of this inning here. Measy grounds one into the left field. That's going to score Gilmore. And that's an RBI single for Emily Measy.
That's a great hit there, right between the third baseman and the shortstop. Chiefs get their 9th run.
Samantha Waldman stepping in again. She's also 1 for 2 today. Also with a hit earlier in the inning. That ball is low for ball 1. Kovac's been keeping the runners in check there over at third all inning. Not giving them any space. Waldman takes a swing, handled by La Rosa, and Cherry Hill West gets out of the inning. Not before the damage was done. Cherokee put up 7 runs that inning. As Scarangelli and the Chiefs come out with a 9-run lead. Try not to let Cherry Hill West battle back into this one.
And at this point, the Chiefs want to really have that so-called shutdown inning, especially since they have 9 runs scored, and of course you have to mention the possible 10-run rule coming into play here. But I'm sure the Lions don't want to have anything to do with that, and get a few runs back here in the top of the 4th.
Scouros coming in. 0 for 1, flew out to short. Excuse me, to third. Back in the 1st inning. Designated player here. Scarangelli looks to shut down the Lions here in the 4th inning. And that one's fouled off. 0-1 count here.
A little check swing there on the high strike.
Low and away, ball 1. Evens the count. That one is high. 2-1 here. Good contact there. That's going to get in for a base hit.
I believe that's the 4th hit for the Lions. So they've been getting their hits, but unfortunately they haven't been able to get the key hit to get a runner in. And of course, the Chiefs have 9 runs up on the board with a few hits and a lot of walks and a couple untimely errors.
Ball 1 here. Alana Pappas in there for the Lions. She had a single back in the 2nd inning. A called strike.
In the hole now 0-2. It's caught the outside corner.
There's a hit. That's going to land fair, and it goes into right field. So back-to-back hits here to start the inning. As Pappas gets her 2nd of the day. That's going to bring up the pitcher, Brittany Robertson. Started over there at first base. She would love to give herself some help. And she grounds out to first.
Moves the runners. They have both 2 runners now in scoring position with 1 out. Sure they want to break the ice here and definitely get a little confidence going in.
That's going to bring up Kylie Renna. Walked earlier in the 2nd. Scarangeli dealing, and that's a 1-0 count. Scarangeli deals. That was high. Renna chased it, 1-1.
Looks like we're going to get catcher's interference, I believe. Yeah, that's what it looks like, catcher's interference. The high strike, and the ump called it right away and pointed to the catcher. So that hit the gloves, catcher's interference.
That's going to load the bases for Cherry Hill West. Becca Gerst coming in. Struck out to end the 2nd inning. It's a good call there, Joe. I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we have a 1-1 count. As Gerst with the low roller. And that's going to score. Cherry Hill West gets on the board. Becca Gerst gets the RBI. Scorers coming in to score. And the game is now 9-1.
Yeah, that's going to be another hit. First infield hit.
Bases are still loaded for Cherry Hill West, and they've only got 1 out. Taylor Thompson stepping in.
That was a tough play. Definitely was a tough play for the Chiefs because a slow roller, only place to go was home. But
Thompson bows down back into the parking lot. She's in an early 0-2 hole. Scarangeli. Thompson with the check swing. Ump says she did not go, so that'll be a 1-2 count. Thompson lines one to short. Great play there. And that's going to be an out.
Oh, we had a lot of force out opportunities and
a lot of speed on that ball.
I think it was the first one of the day though that they actually got the force out. Great play.
Katie Comiskey making the play over there short. Making a great play, preventing the run, getting the out. And now Cherokee needs 1 more to get out of the inning. Linda Kovac stepping in. She's 1 for 2 on the day. fouls it back on the attempted bunt. Kovacs grounded out to second in the first inning and had a single in the third. She fouls it back. 0-2 count as the sun really starting to come out now. Kovacs in the 0-2 hole. She grounds one to second, handled well there. And that's going to do it. Kim Collins with the put out. So we will head to the bottom of the fourth inning. And it looks like we will have Hasselak, excuse me, Collins and Lynch, I believe, coming up for Cherokee. As Robertson heads out for her second full inning of work.
If my math is correct and my scorekeeping is correct, I believe that's 6 hits for West and 5 hits for the Chiefs. Could be wrong. Double check on that. Okay, looks like 5 hits for the West.
Cherry Hill West doing their warm-ups. Hasselak ready to step in here, start the bottom of the fourth. They're sitting on an 8-run lead, is Cherokee.
And again, if the Chiefs get 2 or more runs, then the 10-run rule play may come into effect. Of course, Cherry Hill will have an opportunity to bat in the top of the 5th if that happens.
Robertson deals. That's a good way to start off the inning. It's bobbled out there in center. Hasselak will hold at first, and that's her second hit of the game. That'll bring up Kim Collins. She's 1 for 1 in this game with a walk and a single. Grounder to third off the glove of Thompson and then over the glove of Stubblefield. So that will go for a single for Collins. Bringing up Keely Lynch. Hasselak at second, Collins at first. That ball is low. Well defended by Kovacs. A 1-0 count to Lynch. And that's a called strike 1. 1-1 here. Keely Lynch 1 for 2. Takes a swing at one there, fouls it off. 1-2 count here to Lynch. Robertson dealing. That ball's outside. Lynch thought about it. Pulled back. Good decision there. 2-2. That ball is high. We have a full count now with runners on first and second and nobody out. That ball popped way up into center field, or what I thought was going to be center field. Looks like the wind might have taken that back a little bit. Nonetheless, that's an out. Angela LaRosa making the out there, and that's going to bring up Emma Gilmore.
In that situation, I don't know if I didn't notice the calling infield fly rule, because off the bat it looked like it was going to get into the outfield.
Yeah.
Of course, with that wind came back.
That ball popped up. Foul, almost an unlucky break there for Cherry Hill West. Looks like Kovacs could have made that catch.
Yeah, they just hit the backstop, the overhang of the backstop, only a few inches in. A few inches, if the wind wasn't here, it probably wouldn't have gone that way.
Gilmore stepping in with the 0-1 count here. 1 out. Hazelak on second, Collins on first. That's a wild pitch there as the runners advance.
And they got with 1 out, and they got 2 runners in scoring position now, which would make it a 10-run discrepancy if they can get those runners in.
And another wild pitch.
There's your 10th run.
As Hazelak scores there, and Collins heads to third. That makes it 10-1. And a low ball, 3-1 count here to Emma Gilmore. And that's a low ball 4. Gilmore heads down to first. That's going to bring up Katie Comiskey. Runners on the corners here for Cherokee. Comiskey walked last at bat. A little bunt. Thompson handles it. Gets the out at first. Collins makes it home. But they get the out of third.
The out at third, but not until the 11th run scored.
So another kind of interesting double play there. Was that a 5-1-4?
5-1.
5-1. No, excuse me. 5-3-2-5.
6. Yeah, 5. You're right.
5-3-2-5 double play.
That's the second odd double play we've had today, but nonetheless, the Chiefs get their 11th run, and if the Lions don't score,
this will be over.
At least 1 run, yeah, it'll be over with the 5-inning, 10-run rule here.
Scarangeli's pitched well so far today. 4 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned, 1 strikeout, 1 walk as well.
Yeah, as I said, there are no free passes by her. The Lions, their base runners, they've earned them with 5 hits, but unfortunately couldn't string too much together as they find themselves down 11-1.
As Stubblefield steps in, she had the first hit for Cherry Hill West. A double back in the first inning.
That's the one where high in the air, but the wind did some tricks with the ball, and good hustle on Stubblefield's part to take advantage and get to second base.
And that's another high, deep ball. 2 Cherokee Chiefs get under it.
Right, looks like both of them were calling for it, and again, it's an unwritten rule in baseball that your center fielder is a quarterback out there, and she's the one that was calling her off, but I don't know if they didn't hear each other. Both went for it.
Trisha Griffin ended up making the grab.
And nonetheless, it is an out.
A called strike 1 there to Hernandez. She's grounded out twice today. Out into the outfield again. Same 2. And Griffin gets under it again for the second out.
Yeah, that time there was no problem with miscommunication, even though the ball looked like it was going right to the center fielder anyway. But with the high hang time, and again with the problems with the wind, right fielder was coming over for support, but got the second out with the fly out to center field.
While we've got a second here, we'd like to thank our crew: Hannah Voro, Sean Kelly, Josh Gladstone, Mike O'Malley, Jeff Price, Melissa Cheeseman, Kristen Petoskey, Lindsay Wood, and for Sam Voro and Joe Melograno, I'm Nick Proto. We'd like to thank everybody back there in the truck. All the behind the scenes work makes us look good. Everything you guys see on the television, everything you hear is because of them. And they do a lot to make this run smoothly, as you saw the final out there.
Looks like all three put-outs by the center fielder ends this game.
And that's going to do it, as you mentioned before, the 10-run rule. So the Cherokee Chiefs get a big win at home here, improve their record to 5-4. Cherry Hill West falls to 2-6 on the year.
Well, I guess it was a good thing with this win here. It was a quick game. But hopefully we'll get some warmer weather coming in shortly, and hopefully at least by playoff time.
And there you see our final. As we mentioned, Cherry Hill 1, Cherokee 11. 10th ranked Cherokee moves to 5-4, and Cherry Hill West falls to 2-6. You saw just the Cherry Hill West pitchers had a tough go tonight.
Yeah, both pitchers, the first pitcher that came in, was pulled in the first inning because had control problems and not too much success with the second pitcher, unfortunately. A lot of walks and we mentioned before some untimely errors. Even though the Chiefs really didn't hit the cover off the ball, they didn't really have to. They got the hits when it counted, and they took advantage of those miscues.
We're going to take a quick break here. We're going to send it to our sponsors, and we'll be back after these messages.
Today's game on LDTV Sports, sponsored by Deborah. For care that's extraordinary, demanddeborah.org. Cherry Hill Nissan, home of the friendly Nissan giant. On the web at cherryhillnissan.com. Philadelphia Wholesale Produce Market. All the best, all right here. 215-336-3003. Or on the web at www.pwpm.net. Comegno Law Group, specializing in general and special education law, representing individuals, families, public boards of education, and independent schools. 888-313-IDEA or ComegnoLaw.com. Wilmore School of Gymnastics, where every child is special. In Mount Laurel, 856-234-5292. And in Medford, 609-654-9337. Medford Village Car Care, serving the area's car care needs for 30 years. Located at 11 North Main Street in Medford. 609-654-4023. For information on how your business can become a sponsor of LDTV Sports, contact Joe Malagrana, LDTV Underwriting Manager, at 609-268-2000, extension 8680, or by email jmalagrana@lrhsd.org.
We welcome you back to Cherokee High School. As this game has just gone final, the Cherokee Chiefs defeating the Cherry Hill West Lions by a 10-run mercy rule. Joe, just a tough go about here for the Cherry Hill West Lions.
Yeah, and so unfortunately with the clouds and the wind and the base on balls and a few hours just got them in a hole awful early, and they couldn't dig out of it.
To purchase a copy of today's game, please visit www.lrhsd.org/LDTV copies. As you mentioned, Cherry Hill West has got themselves into a hole. As there you see, our next game is a varsity girls lacrosse game. The Kingsway Dragons taking on the Shawnee Renegades in Shawnee. You can check that out at www.lrhsd.org/LDTV.
I believe we mentioned earlier that lacrosse has really becoming a big factor, big sport here in the spring, as all 4 district schools are in ranked in the top 15.
Just as you mentioned there, it's now time for it's now time to take a look at the Allstate Good Hands Play of the Game, sponsored by Michael McDyer, CLTC, 609-654-1426, or Michael McDyer at allstate.com. Allstate, you're in good hands. Looks like we're going to have an RBI there.
That's Emily Messi. Had 2 hits on the day.
That came in the big 4th run explosion, or fourth inning, or was it 3rd inning?
Third inning,
Third
I
inning
believe,
explosion for the
7-run
Chiefs.
explosion for the Chiefs in the 3rd inning. That's the play of the game for today.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have our player of the game.
Drugs are talking to your kids. Are you? Find the right words at drugfree.org.
We welcome you back to Cherokee High School, where the Cherokee Chiefs have just defeated the Cherry Hill West Lions. It's now time for the Reconstructive Orthopedics Player of the Game. 1-800-896-RECON, or on the web at www.reconstructiveortho.com. Today's player of the game is Trisha Griffin. Let's send it down to Sam Bora, standing by with the interview. Sam?
Thanks, Nick. As you said, here I am with Trisha Griffin, senior center from Cherokee Chiefs. So how were you able to score so many runs in the 3rd inning?
In the 3rd inning, we were just really patient at the plate. There was a lot of walks, pass balls. Everyone just kind of relaxed and took control of the at-bats, and we just kind of showed that we were better than her and took advantage of every mistake they made.
Okay. And what motivates you as a player personally?
My parents and kind of like my family, and making them proud, and like doing what I can do, and just like seeing like the players I've watched forever, like Jenny Finch and like all these famous players, like do what they do by never giving up, just kind of going through everything.
All right, well, congratulations and good luck at your next game. Have a good rest of your day. Back to you guys.
Thanks for that report there, Sam. Trisha Griffin played an incredible game, as did all of Cherokee. Able to come out with the win here at home and improve to 5-4, as we said.
There's nothing like taking advantage of, looking up to your parents and some other players for their role models, and she certainly did that today in today's game.
And that's going to do it for us here today at Cherokee. For everybody here at LDTV, for Sam Boyer and Joe Melagrana, I'm Nick Proto. Everyone, thanks for watching.
This program was produced by Lenape District Television.
Do you have a plan to increase security in places like that?
The district has up-to-date and well-tested emergency response plans